So we've been talking about the problems of having a phone-based childhood, as Jonathan Haidt put it. But there's a particular part of the phone-based childhood that we haven't talked too much about just yet, which is a particular kind of thing that teens tend to do on their phones, which is engaging in social media. And this is the kind of thing that I think a lot of folks have specifically worried about. There's kind of potential foundational harms to just having your technology around you, but there are particular harms that might come to our teens by being on social media. And this is the kind of thing that has attracted the attention of the Surgeon General, who, in addition to putting out a report on the public health problems of being a parent, has also put out a particular report on the public health problems of social media and how it's contributing to the youth mental health crisis. So just before we kind of dive into his report, it's worth sort of noting a little bit about how much our teens are using social media and how much time they're spending on their devices specifically doing this. If you look at the Surgeon General's report, he finds that over 90% of 13 to 17-year-olds report being on at least one social media platform. So it's pretty universal, basically. But what's striking is the fact that a third of these folks say, not that they're on one platform, but they tend to be on it almost constantly. Like all their waking time on their phones is spent on these social media platforms, right? So it's like a really large amount of time that teens are spending on this. But interestingly, in the Surgeon General's report, he notes that a lot of tweens, maybe even younger than tweens, 8 to 12-year-olds, are also on social media platforms, which is striking because the age of consent to be on a social media platform for pretty much all of them is 13, and so it's weird that so many young folks are on it, but they are. And I think that's one of the reasons that the Surgeon General was particularly worried about this, is that this is universal among teens and creeping up even among demographics that technically are not even supposed to be using these apps. And so what does that mean? The question is like, teens are really on these apps. Should parents actually be worried about that? And the Surgeon General himself seems to think, yeah, maybe we kind of should be, to the point that he put out this public health advisory. And so the public health advisory goes through all these data showing some of the potential harms of social media sites. And some of these studies are quite clever. One of my favorite ones was one by this group here. This was a group that did a very clever thing, looking back at the history of social media sites. They realized that, if you take Facebook when it was first released, it was released on some college campuses before others. I think Yale was sadly, maybe one of the first movers where Yale got access to it, but if you were at some community college or some state school, you didn't get access to it yet, right? And these economists said, well, if social media is really harming folks, we should be able to get the mental health data at different colleges and see that the mental health starts tanking, not like, when something happened to all college students, but specifically when your particular school got social media, that's when we should see it tanking. And so they kind of took all these data together from a bunch of different schools, kind of time locked at time point 0 when the social media site showed up, when folks had access to Facebook, and asked, okay, right after that, what happened to everybody's mental health? And here again is just sort of nerdily showing you the graph of what they found, but you can see different kind of symptoms that showed up, kind of symptoms of depression, you're considering suicide, these kinds of things, symptoms of other types of psychological disorders, what the kind of extent to which depression services were used here. And this is from time point 0, how many standard deviations did you increase in the years after you got Facebook? And in pretty much every case, these things are increasing. And I love this study because you might say, well, there's lots of things going on that could be increasing mental health problems in one case. This study really points to like, no, you get access to Facebook in this case or this study, and the bad stuff starts creeping in. There are lots of other studies in the report that look at something else, which asks, okay, if you deactivate one of your social media platforms, if it's Facebook, Instagram, whatever, what then happens to your mental health in the time that ensues? This is a good type of study for a nerdy person like me because it's experimental. You were on social media, I intervene, I have you come off of it, and I ask what happens to your mental health. And pretty much study after study shows that symptoms of depression improve, symptoms of anxiety improve, et cetera, et cetera. Surgeon General brings all this stuff together and basically says, look, the current body of evidence indicates that while social media does have some benefits, there are ample indicators that it could have profound risk of harm to the mental health of children, because children are on these platforms, and adolescents too. He goes on to note that we must acknowledge this growing body of research about harms, and we need to take some action to make things safe, to make these kind of digital environments a little bit more healthy. Like that's what we need to safeguard kids when they're in these sort of critical stages of development. It's like, look, it's inconvenient because we like these kind of devices and these apps that things are potentially harmful, but we've made lots of changes to things that are potentially harmful. He often uses the kind of analogy of seatbelts, where it's like cars were useful, but maybe had this potential for harm, so we install some kind of guardrails, some seatbelts. And his idea is that we should think about ways to do the same thing for our kids when they're dealing with social media. And so what we want to look at is like, how can we kind of come up with these guardrails, right? What are some strategies we can use as individuals to deal with technology better? And we'll be diving into our little cognitive triad, talking about how we can change the way we think and help our kids change the way they think, how they act, and also how they feel.